welcome back to the Just Us Thinking Aftershow.
Welcome back.
And this is going to be a fun aftershow, I think.
It is, yeah. I think we touched on a pretty important topic here, so.
Yeah, this one is, this one's a little different than these people make me angry.
Me too, because like I said, I've been dealing with it like a lot lately in the last couple weeks, and I'm just like, really? I'm like...
Now, there are people worse than me. There are some people that, and I watched their videos, they're like hackers. They don't just use words.
Yeah.
They go to hack these people. This guy will hack them. He'll let them in and he'll hack them. He'll hack their security cameras.
Yeah.
He'll find out their names, and he starts that's a whole nother level of messing with your head. And he posts the videos of them.
Oh, really?
He's like, yeah, he'll call them by they're like saying their fake name.
Yeah.
And then he'll turn around and call them by their real name. And they're like, they get panicked. They get like, what did you call me?
I would have to go watch this now.
It's hilarious.
We have to do this beforehand because I want to see this before we talk about it now.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's because he'll tell them stuff because they'll hack in their camera system, and he's like, you look really lovely in the blue dress today, and she looks, you see her look down and go, holy shit, this guy's staring at me, and they panic.
Oh,
They'll start calling everything. Generally, at that point, they start shutting their operation down.
Oh, wow.
Because then they're like, oh crap, they're starting to get information. They start shutting shit down quick. Now, that guy is a hero.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, when you're doing that, you are a hero. Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Keep doing it. And I'm going to keep what I'm doing.
All right.
It's crazy, the scammers.
It is. I remember my brother even went through like, not really whole identity theft, but there was somebody else with like his name and like I think the social security numbers were like a number or two off.
Oh, that's scary.
So like my brother went through this, I mean, years and years ago, but I mean, it's just the stuff he had to go through to prove some of the stuff that he didn't do. It's crazy it's so easy to get scammed by people, but it's so hard to get it fixed.
Oh, yeah. Identity theft is horrible.
Yeah.
Once you go through it, you have to jump through hoops. And here's the thing, what people don't understand is not only do you have to jump through hoops, but you have to jump through hoops for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And possibly forever.
Yeah.
Because then, they have to prove it's you. They have to, some guys run around. Now, it's kind of identity theft, but so and Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. I like Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
So he was telling this story about how he was trying to get on social media, and he gets a message from it saying, you can't use a celebrity's identity. And so Dave Chappelle's like, okay. And then he went looking for him, and he found someone using his name and everything.
Oh, wow.
So he followed him.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want to know who this Dave Chappelle is. So he started following him, and then all of a sudden, the fake Dave Chappelle got in a fight with Cat Williams online.
Oh.
Okay, so the fake Dave Chappelle is fighting with Cat Williams, and they're going back and forth. And so the real Dave Chappelle is going, oh, holy crap. So, and he says this in one of his stand-ups. It was hilarious. I loved it. I hope it really happened. So he approached, I guess him and Cat Williams were in the same building. And so he's like, well, I gotta go say something because that's not me. So he walks up, he goes, hey, Cat, I just gotta let you know, I don't have Instagram. And Cat Williams looked at him and goes, so what? I don't either.
That's funny.
So the fake Chappelle and the fake Cat Williams were fighting online, and everybody's thinking that they're fighting.
Oh, wow.
They hate each other.
Yeah.
In the meantime, neither one of them have any clue what's going on.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So celebrities have to deal with it too. I mean, look how many lookalikes there are, people, impersonators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now that's, as long as, I don't know, even there they get kind of screwed up too.
Yeah.
I mean, like like I remember, I thought it was Ed Sheridan, but I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. But I guess a lookalike that looks like Ed Sheridan or looks like somebody. And it was kind of, I think Ed Sheridan was a little more funny. They thought the guy was Ed Sheridan. They let him in. And then the real Ed Sheridan came home. They're like, did you leave? What's going on? He's like, no, I just got here. Like, we already let you in. And like they went in there, and like the impersonator was there sitting at the table, and he walked up, and they're like, they're sitting next to each other. Like, oh, I think Ed Sheridan hired him.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because he hired him for for gigs and stuff, for that kind of stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. I think that guy was not trying to do anything, but there are some of those
there's a lot of people that do it,
that try to scam. They use that system.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. So identity theft is just, if they have your information, and we deal with it. I mean, people have bought cars and different things in people's name. And then all of a sudden, I've gotten the call where like, why am I getting calls on an F-150? Why am I getting calls on a Chevy Tahoe? Why am I getting a call on, a Buick sedan? I've never bought this.
That is just, oh my God.
And you're like, well, yeah, someone used your name, your credit card information, and did it. And they're like, can you imagine?
No.
So now you owe $30,000, and now you have to prove that it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Now there's channels that are doing that, but it's crazy.
Yeah, and there's so much help out there. You can get help.
There is, but it takes so long, and it's so you're already, I don't know, you're already vulnerable. You're already, and I don't know. Even that help just seems like it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's, you've got, some help with it. But you're still
screwed.
Yeah.
You're screwed. Now, there's unemployment scams. What are those?
I think it's where they try to file like unemployment benefits in your name or something like that. And it's all sorts of crazy.
Well, I've heard of family members doing like Social Security after the person passes away. They don't say anything.
Yeah.
That's sick too.
Yeah. And that's scary.
Hide grandma in the basement after she passed away, so you get like Social Security on her. Don't do that. Yeah. That's wrong.
No.
Now there's tons of charity scams.
Oh yeah, there's so much.
Now I think The Rock and wasn't it The Rock and Oprah Winfrey got big? I think so, yeah. That didn't go very well for them.
Yeah, that's just...
that was... I don't know if it was a charity scam or what they were doing, or I was told the Black Lives Matter movement, a lot of the people that were up in the hierarchy of that organization basically bought themselves home. Listen, I'm good for helping others. I'm all like, I love charity, and I don't care. You're going to help whatever charity you want. It's your charity. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
If you want to help the homeless, if you want to help whoever you're going to help, I don't care. But when you put up like, especially, I hate to, I'm going to say it. It was the Black Lives Matters. That was supposed to go to victims of that issue, that cause, right?
Yeah.
And these people in the upper levels ended up buying themselves big houses and mansions. How are you helping anybody doing that?
You're not.
You're helping yourself.
You're helping yourself, yeah.
Don't do that. You should go to jail.
Yeah.
You're a crook.
Yeah. That's just, it's
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, debt collectors are the same, in my opinion.
Oh,
There's a lot of them that, if they know you're in debt or something like that, you'll start getting those calls there. Sometimes you don't know when they're real. Sometimes you don't know when they're fake.
Yeah.
Generally, if they ask for money transfers or stuff like that, those are going to be fake.
Yeah.
So.
And that's, unfortunately, I've gotten myself where, I get those calls. So I'm like, I don't know which ones are real and fake. So I'm like, nope, I'm not talking to you.
They're just making it harder for everybody.
Yeah.
The scammers just, they suck.
Yeah. It makes me so mad. Like I had a friend that happened to her mom, and I was just like, oh.
So what happened?
I think the bank was able to like reverse the charges or something like that.
No,
so
what happened was a scam.
I don't remember the details. So yeah, sorry.
The bank was able to reverse them.
Yeah.
Okay. So and a lot of times if it's money, a lot of times they could go through and say, "Yep, that's not it." That's right. Now I've also I like my bank because I've been out of town and I've gotten the phone call and they're like, "Hey, is this? Are you in Colorado Springs?" I'm like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "Well, it's your bank. We saw a charge on your card for this. We want to make sure it's you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's me."
Yeah. And
they're like, "Okay," but they like caveat it. There is, we're not looking for any personal information. Please don't say any personal information on the phone call. If you have any questions, you need to call the number on the back of your card. But is this you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. Now I like those.
Yeah.
The problem is now you have to worry about, is that a real call or not? Here's the scammers that we didn't even talk about, and I'm seeing a lot of these. What are those? And my, I don't know, Mikey. Do you know what? You might not know what they're called. They're the pieces that go above, like the keypads for ATMs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, skimmers.
Skimmers. Yep. There you go. Okay. So those skimmers are out there.
Oh yeah. So like on the gas pumps and stuff like that, or even like ATMs, you always have to like check it, make sure it doesn't like wiggle.
I've tugged on those just to make sure that they're not there.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody like walk in there and I think they like noticed it on the keypad.
Yeah.
And they grabbed it and they peeled it back and they're like in front of the person that was there.
Yeah.
And the look on their face was awesome.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. That has happened in the video that I saw happened in a Target.
Oh, wow.
So they walked into a Target, they were there, and the guy looked down and he looked at it, and then he looked at one of the other registers, and then he pulled out his phone. He goes, "This is a skimmer. Do you know that?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Yeah, this is a skimmer." He goes, It's here." He peeled it off, and he's like, "There it is." And I'm like, So here's the thing, and here's my problem with these videos.
Wow.
Is they show you that part and they end.
Yeah.
I hate that. I want to know what happened.
Right.
You've got my interest. Now I want to know, was the person at the register doing it? Did she not know anything about it?
Yeah. Or was it like the security guy?
Yeah. It happened in like a pizza place. I don't remember what pizza place, but it was like that. You could say they're ordering pizzas and you could see like pizzas, you could see it in the background. They're like, "Oh, he's in a pizza place."
Yeah.
And he peeled it back.
Wow.
So you can't even go inside a location without worried about that being an issue.
I think the biggest thing a lot of people say are like gas and ATMs. Yeah.
Now, a lot of those times you can get what they're going to have to do is they're going to cancel that card.
Right.
They're going to go through and now I just got I just got a new card. Okay. And my old card was just kind of worn out. Yeah. So it wasn't because it was scammed or anything. It was just a worn out card.
And you couldn't see the number anymore.
So I was like, I had to go to the bank anyway. So I think it was
set to expire though soon anyway.
Yeah, in about a month or so. So I was like, well, then I went in there and I'm like, yeah. And I said, "Hey, I want to get one of those cool cards." So I go in there and he's like, "Well, you can't keep the same number." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." A lot of times they'll just send you the same card with a new expiration date.
Yeah.
It's the same number, but it's just a different expiration date. I didn't realize how much stuff that I had tied to that card.
Oh.
Because all of a sudden I'm getting like messages in my email saying, "this payment failed."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, now I look like a bitch here, don't I?"
Well, that I thought sometimes they can like, because I've had it at work too, like where someone will get a new credit card and it'll still link to their old one. So I don't know if that's the difference between credit and debit.
No, that is the difference of it will link because when it's the same credit card number, they ping that and it'll update with the new card information.
Okay, yeah.
So I've actually taken my card and I've had an expired card because the new card was exactly the same number.
Yeah.
I've actually used my old card on accident and they're like, yeah, it just linked all together.
Okay.
So, but because this one, I decided I wanted a design on the card.
Oh, yeah.
So because I want a design,
Yeah.
they're like, well, we can't keep the same card number.
Yeah.
So because a card number changed, that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Now, I had that card for a long time, and
Yeah.
I will tell you, I get a little paranoid after so long that I'm like, well, I don't know how many people have that card. Maybe it's time for a change.
That's
So
good idea.
that might not be a bad idea either. I don't know. You just got to watch it. Now, I will tell you, I was in a restaurant and I don't mind the waitress asking for an ID or anything like that. If I'm buying alcohol, I get it. I understand. But I had one waitress ID me, grab my card, and then like walk away. I'm like, no, you don't. Well, she goes, I got to show my manager. Then you bring your manager over here. Yeah. I don't know what you're going to do with my ID if you leave my site. So if I give you my ID, you're not leaving my site.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Don't go in the back. Don't pull that site. Don't move it underneath the counter because I don't know if you have a camera down there.
Right.
I don't know. So if you ever have to give someone an ID, they could look at it. You don't have to actually hand it to them.
Right.
You could put it on the table and keep your hand on it. That way it doesn't move. But you have to be careful. You have to be diligent in your efforts here.
You do. It's crazy.
I don't know what you're going to do with my ID. I don't know. Now, I will tell you, generally when you get pulled over by the police department, you have to check your states because I will tell you, you don't have to give your social security number to a police officer. Do you know that?
I've never had one ask me for one.
Sometimes they do. If they're looking for it, they'll say, "I need your license, I need your date of birth, and I need your social security number, or I need this." Or they'll ask for all that. You give them your driver's license, and then you say, "I don't answer any questions." That's what you say, because that ID should have everything on there that they need to conduct their business.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one ask me for my social.
Every once in a while they will.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Well, it's been a while since I've gotten pulled over too. So
there are some states that you don't need actually, unless you are actually under a crime, arrest, detainment, or under arrest. You don't even have to show them an ID. If it's a no ID state, that a cop can't just walk up to you and ask for ID.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that all cops are bad. I love cops. I think cops do a wonderful, wonderful job. However, there are bad apples in there. Mm-hmm. Not all of them. There's
Not
very
all of them,
few.
but there are. Yeah.
I believe there's very few. But there's some bad apples, and if they start writing that information down, there have been police officers that got an address for a woman and then followed her home.
Yeah.
Stalked her, did all kinds of stuff. So there are bad apples out there. Not all police. You can't judge all police officers off the few really, really bad ones.
Exactly.
And they have been really bad ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. It doesn't mean they're all bad.
Right. So I don't want that message to get out there that
Yeah.
we hate cops because we love them. We
Right.
we think they do a wonderful job. We think they are great. They're a necessity.
Yeah.
I don't like the ones that overstep their bounds. I don't like the ones that overstep what they're able to do and what they can and can't do.
Yeah.
I don't like that they use the. This is a scam artist. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but those speed traps are a scam to me.
Yeah, they are.
I hate to say it. Listen, traffic. You're not, especially when you have there's a couple of jokes on them where they sit at where the speed limit changes from 45 to 35.
Oh yeah,
and they're right behind the sign and they're pulling people over.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but you're using that as a revenue stream. If you're using police officers as a revenue stream for your city, you're scamming people. I think you're a scam.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're not protecting anybody.
Yeah.
You're not. You're just not doing it.
That's a different way to look at it. I haven't looked at it that way, but yeah, that's a good point.
You tell me.
Yeah.
And then even if it's I'll be honest, even if it's a trumped up charge and it's, you go to court and you're like, yep, not guilty, but now you have to pay court fees because you wasted, because you had to go to court.
Yeah.
You still have to pay
Yeah.
to go through that. If you get arrested, yeah, a lot of times you'll lose. If you have to bond out, you're losing that bond. You're not going to get that back.
Right.
And if that money's gone. So you could have done nothing, end up in jail because someone trumped up charges on you, lied about it, and then it's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's a scam. So scams can go all different ways.
Yeah, they can.
People lost their integrity.
They definitely have.
And and we're going to get more into that. I think. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that this world needs to change. Otherwise, we are on that highway to hell.
Yeah, I think we're already there.
We're paving it pretty nicely right now.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things, I guess. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I just tell those people, go get a job, go get a real job. Stop scamming some poor old lady or poor old guy, and just go get a life.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, what kind of person does that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I can't. It's crazy. I just can't even imagine trying to do that to somebody.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
You can't have a mirror in your house because, I mean, listen,
true.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I could sell. I could be a salesman. I don't like to be a salesman.
Yeah.
I just don't like some of the tactics. I hate aggressive sales.
Oh yeah, me too.
Really hate aggressive sales. So I can't do that. I can't force. No, if you want to buy something, I'll sell it to you. But I don't. I hate that. And I see it all the time in my industry. Mm-hmm. I see and I'll get and I don't know what to say. I feel so bad when it's like my grandma went into the car dealership and they sold her a car that she can't afford.
Yeah.
She can't make $1,000 payments. The dealership made it sound all different, and I hate that.
Or when they tack on extra stuff, that's not.
Oh yeah, all the add-ons. Yeah. All of a sudden they get home and they have all this stuff to add on. Now here's the problem. I always recommend, and I'm gonna say it over and over and over again. Read your goddamn contract.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's long. I don't care how long it takes. Before you sign anything, read that goddamn contract.
I don't know how many times I've heard you say something along that lines of you signed that contract, or
did you read it?
Did you read it? I'm
no, I didn't read it. I didn't have time to read it. I was late for work. Well, now you signed a contract.
Maybe you should have gone there when you had more time.
Right.
Not when you were running late for work.
Now, unfortunately, I want to say, don't get me wrong, it's on both sides.
Yeah.
Now, I hate the dealerships that say, well, we're paperless, so we'll put on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
You digitally sign it, so you don't really
really have a chance to look at it. Yeah.
I won't sign a contract that way. Yeah. Unless I could look at the contract and see the terms. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't either. Like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But unfortunately that's the world we're getting into is that digital signature.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. If you're going to go sign for a car or a house or something like that, go through, and there are, for cars, a lot of with what we have, it's called the Truth in Lending section. Okay. Read that. Yeah. That's going to show your terms. Now, I don't know how many times I've seen some person, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get your payments at $500 a month, and it's great. Sign here. Okay, well, $500 sounds great. Well, you sign that for 36 months, and for the next 39 months, it goes up to $1,250.
Yeah.
Guess what? You just got a flex buy.
Yeah.
So it's a lower amount at the beginning, and then halfway through the contract, it blows up. Or
Those are crazy.
What's worse is the balloon ones. You have a balloon payment.
Oh, yeah.
So, and those are all over the place now. So you pay X amount of dollars, and at the end, you owe this huge amount.
Yeah.
And then you have to worry about trying to refinance or doing all this other crap. I will tell you, and that's fine. These are contracts. These are legal. They're perfectly binding. However, you have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Pay attention.
It's I don't know that now. I want to say high pressure sales. When you get into that realm, yeah. I mean, just like any scammer, if someone calls and says they're your niece, and I need money and send it here,
yeah. I'm going to call my sister-in-law or my brother and be like, hey, what's going on with so-and-so?
Right. I guess the biggest problem with scammers is if you think you're being dealt with a scammer, or if you're thinking you're being rushed, you need to walk away for a moment.
Yeah.
You need to step away from the situation. And I don't know how many times I've heard someone say that, well, I couldn't leave the dealership. They wouldn't let me. Did they have you handcuffed to the chair? You could leave at any time. Yeah. You could get up and walk away. Right. And if they don't let you, that's called
kidnapping.
And that's a crime. You could arrest them for it. If you say, I'm leaving, you can leave.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean... I guess I don't get it.
I don't either.
You know, if you have most people have a cell phone. If you go to leave and they're blocking the door, dial 911 and put the phone in your pocket. Yeah. I will tell you what's going to happen. The police are going to show up there.
Yeah.
They could, especially if you just dial 911 and you put it in your pocket and you let the call go. Hopefully the 911, and then I would say, make sure, hey, I'm trying to leave. Please move out of the door. And they say, no, you can't leave. I want to leave. You're holding me against my will. That dispatcher is going to hear that, and they're going to say, yep, we need police officer. This is where that phone has a location.
Yeah.
When you call 911, it pings that location. So don't give me this bullshit that the dealer, they didn't hold you against your will. You haven't been kidnapped. What they did is they told you, if you walk out of here, the price is going to go up. And it was high pressure sales, don't get me wrong. And to some people, that is really a pressure kind of deal.
Yeah.
So and here's the thing, if you're that person or not. If you're that person I'm not that person.
No.
You may be a little closer to that person because you're not going to, you kind of like to go with the flow of things sometimes. Yeah. So, but you're not going to go. I'm not going to let you go to a dealer or something like that by yourself.
Yeah.
If you're kind of you're soft and you're not gonna, you don't like the conflict, you don't like that, take a friend and you know what, go, and this is what you do, and this is what happens to me. You go and say, what friend do I know is the biggest asshole or can be that just will throw a fit? Yep, I'm taking him with me.
Yep.
That's what you do, because you know what? There's two of you first and foremost.
Yeah.
You don't, and I will tell you, if you and your partner are weak, find a friend to go with us. You need to find someone that's a strong voice that can advocate for you.
Yeah.
If you're not that person, bring someone with you that can.
Exactly.
It's just
advice.
Part of life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Scammers are out there. Not everything is a scam.
Not everything is
a scam. Sometimes it could seem like a scam, but it's also your responsibility.
You just have to do your due diligence to make sure.
Yeah. You really do. If you're in question, like I said, you need to step away. You get that phone call, you say, hang up and call that person.
Yeah.
Your best friend calls you saying she's crying and is in jail. You say, oh, yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's a good show.
Me too. Yeah, I've got a little vent out today, so that's good.
That's always nice, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you do like our show, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yep. And then you can also listen to us on iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, or any of your favorite podcast players.
Yep. To YouTube Music, which is podcast. I think it's Google Podcasts is going away, and they're all going to YouTube Music. So keep that in mind as well.
All right.
Now you could also watch our videos because we have videos up. You could also just listen to us on YouTube. We're also on Rumble, and we put shorts up on TikTok all the time.
We do, yeah.
Hopefully you enjoy what we do and what we say, and we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. So
we are.
Think it's a good after show.
All right. Bye, everybody.